Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in today's episode of The Hypnotist, you'll be listening to a hypnosis session created for a lady that felt that she wanted to lose weight, but whenever she attempted to lose weight, would quite often sabotage it, encounter a feeling of resistance, and then quickly gain the weight again. And what was evident in the conversation that led up to this hypnosis session is that there was a deep association between having attention and that being a trigger for anxiety and feeling like that's a scary thing, that it could lead to unworthiness or rejection or shame. And what was clear is that she had various events in her childhood where attention was linked to negative emotions. So what you're going to hear in this particular hypnosis session is a metaphor that links attention to something desirable. And when people think about a work of art, they appreciate that there are millions, hundreds of millions of people in the world that really appreciate that art and they want to give their attention on that art. So there is a metaphor of one of the client's favorite pieces of art, which is Water Lilies by Claude Monet. And she did her own research and saw that it had sold something like more than 85 million. And the work of art itself then becomes a metaphor for something that isn't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. It's entirely subjective. That's what makes art, is that it's a subjective representation of reality, not reality itself, but that it has a value, and the value is what other people place on that work of art. So there's various suggestions. There's also an element of disassociation by stepping into the artwork, but it's all designed to create a feeling of worthiness, acceptance, and high value on the individual, this feeling that change isn't required to be worthy, it's just an option, and that the worthiness is already built into who this client had become. Many people suffer with self-sabotage. They suffer with issues of low confidence, low self-esteem. If that sounds like you, and you're curious to see if hypnosis could help, you can click the link in the show notes to schedule a free consultation call to explore working with me. But you might find that this session is actually quite helpful just by itself. It was created for someone unique and individual, and some of the suggestions might not relate to you. But if overall you want to get a sense of being worthy and valuable and work on your self-esteem, then you might find this session is actually quite helpful. So find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. As you breathe in a resourceful feeling of relaxation. And as you exhale, just allow any feelings of worry, stress, or tension to feel like it's leaving your body in your outward breath. That's it. Notice where tension may exist in your body, perhaps in your forehead, your jaw, around your neck, your shoulders. Maybe there's even tension in your fingers, in your legs. So as you breathe in and breathe out, just give permission to your body to let go of that tension. to enable you to breathe in wonderful feelings of relaxation and resourcefulness, and to just let go of that tension, feeling it leave your body in your outward breath. I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine you are in a grand building in London. I want you to imagine you're in the auction rooms at Christie's. Use the power of your imagination to imagine that you're placed on one of the chairs, and in front of you is a painting, Water Lilies by Claude Monet. It's protected behind bulletproof glass. And I want you to see there is billionaires, there are collectors, tycoons, all staring admiringly at this incredible piece of art. But I want you to imagine, before the auction starts, that you have the ability to pause time for everyone else but you. Just imagine you pause it, everyone freezes like they're playing musical statues as you take a closer look at this incredible piece of art. You can look close. And I want you to appreciate that while this is a beautiful piece of art, it isn't perfect. You can look at the reflection of the trees, perhaps in that water. You can see the lilies, and you can see that as you look really close, some of it is just blocks of paint. But when you step back and you see it all, it comes alive in this incredible scene. You can see the lilies, you can see the water, you can see the trees, you can see the people on the banks of the river. And you can accept that something doesn't have to be perfect to be desirable, to be valuable, to be so worthy that it captures the imagination of those people that would do anything to have this piece of art. And I want you to imagine staring at one particular part of this painting. And maybe it's looking deep into the reflection of the water. Maybe it's the color of one of the lilies. Maybe it's the reflection of the trees there in the water. And as you stare into that, I want you to imagine going into the picture and imagine you're now in a world where everything looks like impressionist art. The trees are brushstrokes, the water is different colors merged together. Perhaps you can imagine there you are, perhaps in a place in France, staring at the water lilies, just drifting away in your own imagination. And I want your unconscious mind to be open to the idea that you are a piece of art, that you are valuable, that you are desirable. And I want you to imagine a place by that river to just completely relax. As you breathe in and you breathe out, I want you to release the old belief that attention brings shame. Perhaps you can embrace the truth that attention reflects admiration for who you are, for what makes you uniquely you. The past notion that you are unworthy of love no longer holds any power over you. Instead, you are worthy of love exactly as you are. And this self-love radiates in every aspect of your life. Walk around this magical universe you stepped into. See the trees, see the people, all made of unique brushstrokes. But you're living in that reality. Perhaps you notice something there like the leaves on a tree, and you accept the idea that your self-acceptance and empowerment become a magnet for others who appreciate and admire your authenticity, enabling you to draw like-minded individuals into your life. Maybe in the past you were told that nobody would want you, but this outdated idea fades away, replaced by the certainty that you are a unique and desirable individual capable of attracting meaningful connections. Just as a masterpiece is celebrated for its intricate details, you recognize that you too are a work of art that grows more magnificent with time, embracing the wisdom and beauty that age brings. And perhaps you can choose to make changes in your body. But if you choose to lose weight or to change any part of your body, you're doing it from a position of growth, improvement, and progress. There are no changes you need to make to fit anyone else's idea of a standard. So every step you take forwards is a testament to your strength and determination, and each accomplishment fuels your confidence, attracting positive attention. I want you to accept the idea that you project outwards whatever is internal. If you are full of self-love and self-acceptance, you will radiate that outwards. If you are full of shame and insecurities, you will project that outwards. So the transformation you undergo reflects who you are within you, as you can dispel any lingering doubts about any unworthiness or insecurities. Just let them fall away like leaves off a tree going into the river. With every healthy choice you make, you reinforce the belief that you deserve to be loved, valued, and cherished for who you are, both inside and out. Your self-assured presence radiates the energy of self-love, and this magnetic aura attracts those who resonate with your authenticity and admire your journey. I want you to think of a link. It could be a piece of string, a rope, or a chain, and accept the idea that the link between attention and shame shatters, revealing that your progress is a source of pride and admiration, and the attention you receive is a celebration of that determination. This narrative of unworthiness dissolves, replaced by the empowering truth that you are deserving of love, care, and admiration. And this belief attracts positive connections. The connection between attention and embarrassment fades, replaced by a sense of pride in your accomplishments and an understanding that your journey is part of what makes you a unique piece of art. Your evolving sense of self-love becomes a beacon of attraction, drawing in those who recognize and appreciate your worth, creating authentic and meaningful connections. Because of that, your self-assured demeanor and radiant confidence and ripples of positive energy attracting people that operate on that same frequency. I want you to imagine stepping out of that painting, finding yourself back in that auction room, seeing that masterpiece, The Water Lilies by Claude Monet. But before we reactivate time in this room, I want you to imagine what would have to happen for you to change your body. Could someone pay you 85 million to remove your limbs and your legs? Could someone pay you 85 million for you to remove all of your senses, having no eyesight and hearing? And as you accept the idea that you would not be willing to mutilate your body for that amount of money, you have to arrive at the conclusion that your body, exactly as it is worth more than this masterpiece painting, The Water Lilies by Claude Monet. I want you to imagine sitting back down, reactivating time, and then smiling as you can see these tycoons and art collectors frantically bidding millions and millions to get this piece of art, while simultaneously acknowledging that you value yourself exactly as you are as worth more than this magnificent piece of art. And if your unconscious mind accepts this to be true, let me know by nodding your head. And in doing so, you realize that any changes you choose to make are simply options. You can choose to lose weight. You can choose to change your hair or your clothes. But even without that, you value yourself highly, and that is the energy that you project to the world. I want you to imagine hearing that finishing bid, over 85 million, as you smile. And you realize that you value yourself more highly, and that will reflect your decisions as to what food to buy. If you're worth more than a masterpiece painting, don't you deserve the very best food, the very best ingredients? Don't you deserve self-love and self-care? Don't you deserve compliments that you give from yourself to yourself? To do things that just make you feel good for no other reason than you deserve to feel good. And imagine leaving that magnificent building in London, returning to the present, but taking this elevated feeling of self-worthiness and self-esteem with you all the way back to the present. I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose, returning to the present. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, fully integrated into this moment, as very soon I will count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling worthy, full of self-acceptance, and whenever you catch yourself in a reflection, perhaps in a shop window or a mirror, you will look at yourself as more valuable than the most expensive works of art that exist on the planet. Starting to count to awaken you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.